What's up, guys? We're back on Google Hangout. I'm Spencer Lazara, joined by the monsoon himself, Lorenz Larkin, fresh off of a knockout victory. It's earned him a bonus of 50K. I had to say on Facebook there, I said, anybody who needs to borrow money, you know who to go to.
They didn't give me 50K in cash, dude.
Gotta wait for that check.
No, they told me they're gonna give it to me on a Subway card.
Well, the subway's on Lorenz for the entire planet.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Um, well, man,
Six
talk
fifty.
us through the victory. Was it your game plan to really throw hands the way you did? Because I'm used to seeing you mix it up a little more, kick a little more. It seemed like you were straight up just focused on punching.
Yeah, I wanted to use my hands, but I also did want to kick, but I as I'm trying to grow as a fighter, like in the past, I used to just throw kicks. You know what I mean? I didn't really care what I hit. I didn't care if the guy checked. I was just throwing it. You know what I mean? And then in the fight, it didn't bother me, but after the fight, I'll go back. Like that's what it's funny because people think that like, oh dude, he doesn't care, like guys do all this crazy type of stuff, or even like Cowboy, like when he was throwing the kicks, and sometimes, or like, if somebody's on their back and somebody throws a kick and they push it with their foot, they think it doesn't really hurt us. But we disguise all that shit, you know what I mean, until we get past the back curtain, and then we're like, oh dude, like my shin hurts or my elbow
Also,
hurts.
and your adrenaline's going. I mean,
Oh yeah, for
as
sure.
soon as that ends, you're like, ow.
Yeah, so now, I feel like, since I've been fighting for a while now I kind of want to start making sure things land, not just throwing it and kind of being reckless out there. That's why if you've seen, sometimes I'll barely tapping his inside leg kick. I went for a hard outside leg kick, but I measured it, and it landed good. So those are little improvements that, it's small, but things that I'm growing as a fighter, and I'm trying to make sure that when it lands, it lands. You know what I mean? And when I'm just testing in the waters, and I'm just testing.
You've always been the faster guy, hand speed, I would say, in a majority of your fights. But now you're down at a lower weight, and I mean, I thought you looked faster than ever, though. Did you feel any different in terms of hand speed?
Yeah, I felt really good. I felt Yeah, I felt really good. Sorry, that was a fly. I just caught a fly in my hand. But
Mr. Miyagi in the house.
just
Talk about that hand speed.
no, but yeah, dude, I felt good. The weight cut went good, and I got to kind of display what I'm capable of.
Um, I asked you, did any of his leg kicks hurt? Because if anybody was landing, he landed a few leg kicks. You laughed at me. So obviously, you were fine in there from those and able to find your rhythm.
Yeah, he landed the two leg kicks, I believe, or something like that. But they didn't hurt. You know what I mean? It was just more of a kind of embarrassing thing. You know what I mean, for me, because I didn't have really no weight on my front foot at the time. So when he kicked it, I just spun around. So I was like, wow, that was so dramatic. As I was thinking of the fight, like, cool, like that was like the most dramatic thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, I spun around.
You used to spinning guys around with your leg kicks, I think.
No, but yeah, but it was cool though. He landed where he should have landed, and it didn't affect me though in the fight.
Um, talk about going in for the kill there after you hit him with some big right hands. You hit him with the elbow. You're already kind of looking at the ref. Then you go back and hit him with the elbow. Then you look again like, dude, are you going to stop it? He's done. Talk about what's going through your head then, and then of course you went in to just make sure the job was done.
Yeah, when I first dropped him and he fell, I knew he wasn't totally out because I could feel him starting to build back up off that leg. So that's when I posted on the side of his face, my right hand, and that's when I dropped that big elbow. And I knew right off that elbow because I put everything I had into it. He just face planted, and the pressure that he had on my leg trying to build back up. it just was like not there no more. So that's why I looked at the ref, like, you know what I mean? He's done, and he didn't stop it, so I finished it. But I mean, my thing is now that I look back at it, I'm kind of glad he didn't stop it because who's to say if he stopped it early and then everybody would have been like, oh, it was an early stoppage. He was getting up, and so I guess I'd rather have it that way than the other way.
Were there any doubts going into this fight in terms of being at the new weight class at all? I mean, was it all just because it seemed like everything was clicking for you from fight pre-fight our talk to obviously what happened in there?
Yeah, it was that was pretty much the last check off, in the whole list. So, because I felt good in camp, my weight felt good, my body felt good, and that was the last test, to see, because we couldn't really. I didn't want to do a test cut. You know what I mean? I just wanted to just do it and just acclimate while I'm in there. So that was kind of like the final missing puzzle piece. That we're just all kind of excited to see what was going to happen. How I was going to feel in the fight. The weight cut really good. Like, I think I woke up that morning at like 73 point something.
Wow.
So I cut like a easy, sauna time, and then so yeah, and in the fight, I mean, I rehydrated. By the time I was fighting, I felt good.
Would you
I
weigh?
don't know if you noticed, but there's a time in there. It was crazy because I've never felt that good, and coming into a fight, like after weight cut, and especially that weight cut, So um, if you see that there's a part where I'm smiling in the fight, and it's because we're it was like I think a minute into the round or something like that. And I heard his corner yell, "He's tired. He's gassing." So I started laughing, like, "What are you talking about?" Because I couldn't feel any better. I was like, "I'm not even tired whatsoever. I'm not even breathing hard yet."
Yeah, haven't even gotten going.
Yeah,
What did you weigh? What did you weigh when you got in the cage? Do you think, or on fight day?
I was at I believe 85.
It's about perfect.
Hmm.
Um, talk about now what you feel like in this division. I mean, you have to feel pretty confident, like we said, having a win over the champ and doing such an impressive knockout, against a high caliber guy like John Howard, who's been around a long time. How fast do you want to fight again, or what are your plans?
I would like, I always like to stay busy. I hate big layoffs. I had to talk with my manager today, and we're just gonna schedule a quick hand appointment just to check out my hand. But other than that, my body feels good, man. I'm not hurting whatsoever. Nothing sore on me other than my hand. So
Your right
other
hand,
than
I think.
that, yeah, if everything checks out clear, man, I'm ready to kind of get back into camp as soon as possible. I
Nice.
don't mind to keep fighting. I'm trying to pull a cowboy if I can.
Nice. Did you see anything when you were actually in there that really gave you the nod that like, oh, the right hand is what I'm going to land here, or was it
You know
just
what?
you're
It
on
was just
autopilot?
Yeah, it was just the fillers, man. I came in there, I started moving. Well, my coach, well, my two main coaches are Romy Aram and Batiste Mansuri. So, they both just said, look, when you go in there, because they felt like in the Philippou fight, I was too aggressive. You know what I mean? In the first, part. So, they were just saying, look, go in there, fill the real estate. Well, they call it real estate, just the size of the cage, get some movement going, and just move around for a minute and then go from there. He was like, whatever you do, just go in there, move around for a minute, get used to it, and then go from there. And that's what I did, and I start moving, I start using my feet, start picking with the jab, and then the jab always sets up to two, and I seen it, so that's when I just kind of did it, you know what I mean? So, and it
Who
landed
has?
good.
Do you have the fastest hands in the division? Because from what I saw, I can't think of anyone who has faster hands.
I don't know. Am I the quick draw champion of 170?
It seemed like it, man. It really seemed blisteringly fast. Did John say anything to you after the fight?
No, man. You know what, dude? He was exactly how you should be. To me as a fighter, and he acted the same way I would have acted, man. He gave me all the praise in the world. He told me I was the better man that night, and congratulations. He was a stand-up guy. He was really, really, really a stand-up guy.
Talk about that moment when you heard that you got the bonus, because I mean that's some life changing type of money right now after all the years of hard work you put in.
Yeah, it felt really good. It felt like the little Cinderella story. You know what I mean? Because I know everybody else knows. This fight was kind of like the fight. The UFC gave me the chance to see what I can do at 170. You know what I mean? I was on the chopping block, so it's nothing. It's no secret out there. But it was kind of like the Cinderella story. I came in, I did what I was supposed to do, and it ended the best way it could end.
Awesome, man. Really impressed with it. Well, yeah. I mean, I guess we covered pretty much everything there. So you're gonna lay off the Sour Patch Kids, or you get to eat now? Still, you're gonna keep the running up? What's the plan?
Yeah, well, I mean, I was in the gym yesterday. You know what I mean? So, as
Training,
long as
or
I'm
just to go say I'm the shit?
no, I was working out. I was helping because we have a pretty good group of guys that's fighting soon. You know what I mean? So I was in there helping them out and trying to get them ready and keep this little momentum going. With me and Georgie got our fights in. Now it's time for the amateurs and the other pros to get their fights in. So we're down to earth team, and I'm right back in there trying to help them out and get them ready.
Yeah, I'd say that was one of the funniest things for me was how you walked to the camera looking like the mean guy, but to me, I think you and Mark Munoz are probably the nicest guys in the sport.
Oh, yeah.
So it was kind of ironic.
See, I'm nice, dude, but just don't try to steal my candy or anything like that, and we won't never have a problem.
Don't try to change the channel when you're trying to eat your food.
Oh, dude, yeah. And it's funny. The UFC came out with some videos, so I read all of their comments. Oh my God, it's so funny their comments.
All the fans, you mean?
Yeah.
What were they
Well,
saying?
just all it's like the keyboard warriors, but I was laughing so hard.
I mean, I thought they did a good job with the video, and I'm dying because it's the same thing. I knew kind of all this stuff,
Yeah, yeah,
so
we did a video like that.
yeah, so it was pretty funny for me to be watching you saying it all. What were the
Yeah.
fans saying?
Oh, it's funny. That dude's a weirdo. He's really weird. It's like I thought it wasn't that bad. I thought they're kind of like normal things, but
It's
they
a
kept
little
calling me,
abnormal, but it's funny.
yeah, and
It's
they
not.
kept calling me gay. I don't know. Do I come off as gay? There's nothing wrong with being gay, but I
I don't think
like
there's
I
any.
seriously this and
Yeah.
this look. This is a funny. This is a funny fucking story. I see all these gay comments, right? So I was like, what the hell? So I have a friend. His name's Kurt, right, and he's gay. So I call my I call my friend Kurt. I'm like, dude, this is a serious question. Do I come off as gay? He's like, no. So and Kurt's boyfriend, his name's Freddie. So I was like, dude, do I come like? Is this something like both of you guys? Tell me the truth. Do I come off as gay? They're like, no. I was like, all these guys call me gay. I don't understand.
That's comedy. I guess it's because you were a little bit shy, right? When you were talking about it, you were kind of like, you're like, semi not embarrassed, but you know what I mean, like kind of shy to like be talking
Yeah,
about that stuff. I know you.
I don't know.
That was funny, man. I thought it was a good video. I thought it shows who you are a little bit behind the fight, as opposed to just the normal mean
Yeah, it
guy
was a
and
cool video.
about.
Yeah.
Um, well, cool, man. I want to get some predictions from you here. So this weekend we got Dan Henderson and Gegard Mousasi fighting at your old weight there at middleweight.
Yeah.
Who takes that one? How does it go?
Musasi. I see Musasi taking it, and either submission. I don't see Musasi knocking him out, or I see him either submitting him or it going all three. That's not main event, right? That's like co-main.
That's the co-main. Yeah.
Yeah, I see
Henderson's a
him.
massive underdog. I just thought that was crazy. And with the head movement, lack of head movement Gegard uses, I just feel like Dan can catch him.
Yeah, but the thing is, Dan can catch anybody. There's nobody that's like safe from, his power. It's just that it's kind of getting to that point. You know what I mean?
Gegard can definitely land more frequently, I would say, and also if he can get a sweep or something, if he's on bottom, because it's going to be hard to get Dan down, or some
Yeah.
sort of trip to get him down, then that's where Gegard can do some work. Um, the main event, Gustafsson and Rumble. This is a good fight. I'm interested. So break it down for us.
Oh man. I'm gonna go with Gustafson. Um, I don't. Mm, I either see, and that's a 5 round, right?
Yep.
I see him either winning in decision. I just see him gassing Rumble out. I don't think he's gonna finish him, but I see him. I don't know about submitting him either, man. But I really do see him winning in decision.
Yeah, I mean Gustafsson. He certainly has a great chin, and I think he uses his movement early to stifle enough to then exactly go later in the fight. I mean, the longer the fight goes, the more it's going to go to Gustafsson and that long jab.
Yeah, I just
Excited
see
to see it.
Rumble. Yeah, I just see
I,
Rumble coming out really strong, trying to land some big shots, and then it's just gonna the rounds are gonna keep going. He's gonna start dying down.
yeah, I can't wait for Jones Gustafsson. So I mean, as much
Yeah,
as Rumble would be an interesting matchup too, I think most people want to see that rematch.
style.
Um, go ahead.
No, just saying, that's I feel like Jones's kryptonite, man, is Gustafson. That's to me in my eyes. Jones is good. Don't get me wrong, he is really good. But what makes him that type of elite fighter is his body frame, and I feel like the average MMA fan doesn't understand. But his frame, it's like you can't craft a different like a better frame for a 205. You know what I mean? And Gustafson is almost there. There's no reach. There's not even that much of a reach advantage. You know what I mean? It's that's like the fight right there.
Yep. Can't wait for it. Definitely, if it is to happen to us. Anderson and Nick Diaz is going down next weekend. Anderson, I feel like is too big, but what does each guy have to do to win, and who do you see coming out on top?
I see Anderson winning. I'm always an Anderson fan, and the only thing is, he's going against somebody who he's not going to be able to really play that game with. That what they call it, the Stockton slap. You know what I mean? He's not going to really be able to do all that. He's going against somebody who has head movement, who can slip a punch and come back with a punch. You know what I mean? And that stuff works with guys that are uncomfortable striking. That and will gas out after the volume of punches coming at them. But you know we're talking about Anderson Silva, and I don't see that happening. I see Anderson finishing him.
I agree. I think Anderson's just going to be too big, man. He's so accurate too. His accuracy is always the most impressive thing when I think about Anderson Silva. It wasn't always his punching power, but it's like those ones that you don't see, and he's just so quick at placing right on the spot. Uh, saw it in almost all of his fights with Forrest and Irwin and everybody.
Hmm.
Um, an interesting fight on that card is Tyron Woodley and Gastelum. That's in your new weight class, man, and definitely something to keep an eye on for you, I would say. Who's going to take that one?
I'm going for Woodley, man. Woodley has been on a tear since he's gotten the UFC, man. And Gaslin is good, man, but Woodley has that power, man. He has that wrestling. You know, he's he's on a run right now. Gaslin is too, but I just feel like it's not Gaslin's time yet.
Yeah, Gastelum's the one who's undefeated. You know, we see such an up and down Tyron Woodley, and from fight to fight, it's weird. I've never seen a fighter who comes out so almost differently from fight to fight. But Gastelum's going to bring the forward pressure, and I think Tyron has a little bit of a hard time with that.
Hmm.
So, well, that power, like you said, is always there. That's going to be a fun fight to watch, I think.
Yeah.
If anybody has any questions, we have 10 viewers. They're probably all of our friends. But if not, they can tweet us questions if anybody wants to ask Lorenz anything. Um, well, talk about you know, your teammate Georgie's win real quick.
Man, it was good. I was watching it up in Boston. We were on the edge of our seats every time he every time he was reaching for that guillotine. You know, because we all been put in it and we all hate it. So you know, it was a good win. I was super stoked for him, and it was good, dude. And he got that title shot.
Yep. And that has to give you like going into your fight. I mean, does that motivate you, make you feel better? I know the one time I actually got in there, I had I had one of my teammates, three of my teammates fought a week before and won, and I was that I don't know. One of them really went through a war kind of, and then guillotined the guy too, and I was just like, it just motivated me. I was like, I can't lose. I don't know.
Nah, you know, it was good vibes coming into the fight. You know, see him doing good, and you know, I wanted to bring that momentum back to the gym. You know, right before I left, you know, and me and Georgie had our last practice. You know, we all had a you know, we always have like a team break, you know, after each practice, and you know, we just all left off on a good note. And we both said we're gonna get those wins and come back, you know. So, and then it was gonna be time for the other guys to get their wins. So, you know, it felt good watching them fight and win, and out. And you know, it couldn't happen better for him either. You know, he came in first fight in Bellator, or not first fight, but first fight back to Bellator, beat a guy, you know, first round, and then got a title shot. You know, so it happened great for him, and then you know, my opportunity happened great for me too.
He definitely deserves it, man. I still say most underrated fighter maybe in the world right now is Georgie.
Oh yeah, but
Um,
he's about to be champ.
yeah. Um, Paradigm had a pretty good weekend, I guess. They had win on Jake won, of course. You and Conor McGregor. Do you get to talk to Conor at all since you guys are under the same management? Did you chat with him at all? What do you think about him?
You know, I haven't got to meet him yet. You know, he was, you know, I'm pretty sure you can tell off of you know, off of all the TV stuff and you know promotion. That dude's a busy guy, but you know, well, I'm pretty sure one time we will meet. But I haven't got to meet him yet. But I'm happy for him, man. He's doing what you know a lot of fighters wish they could do.
Yep, I was impressed. Definitely excited to see him and Aldo, though. I don't know how that one's going to go down. Who do you think's going to take that one?
You know, I'm not too sure, man. But I know I'm an Aldo fan. I've always been, and Aldo is not nothing like nothing like he's ever faced. I could promise that. You know what I mean? And that dude's a beast. Like he's a whole different animal. So you know, I'm anxious to see what he can do in there.
Nice. Well, close this out. Anything else you'd like to add?
No, man. Thanks for you know all my supporters, all Riverside, you know, and all my fans. You know, I really appreciate all the support. And you know, and this just wasn't my win. You know, it was all the fans win too. You know, because that was a big like you know involvement. You know, from the fans. You know, that was a big thing for my team, telling me to make the move to 170, and you know, I look on Underground. I'm not active, on the forums, but I do lurk. I guess you can say I'm a lurker, so I just read and then I just get out. So, I did always read the comments like this guy should make the move, and he should drop, and he should drop weight. He would be a beast at that weight. So, I always took that in consideration, and then with my team too. So, I felt like it was a group effort, even though the fans don't really know, but I do take all that into perspective.
Beautiful. Well, definitely excited to see what the rest of the year has in store. Lorenz Larkin, Spencer Lazara. Thanks everyone for watching.